Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Little King story playthrough! Now, you may notice a slight difference in the sound of my voice. That is largely thanks to the fact that I currently have a cold and a cough and just am generally ill, which is not pleasant. But hey, what can you do? But the other thing is that I am now in a new bedroom, which is bigger, so there might be a bit more of an echo. And you may get the little squeak of my swivelly chair, but it should certainly be less irritating and less obvious than the squeak of my bed that I used to have to record on. So it's so wonderful to have all this space and to look out into a beautiful garden, rather than just have my back to the window and be burned to death whenever it's really sunny. But you may have noticed this is a very, very long part, which, considering I am currently ill, is a terrifying prospect. Because it means I'm going to have to talk for 30 minutes straight. But at least we've paid Verd, so that's that quest out of the way. And we have something really, 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 really fun to do today. Because we are going to take on the next kingdom, which is the Worrywart Kingdom. And oh, it's going to be amazing. Like I'm so excited. Now, to get to the Worrywart Kingdom, we need to go through these cockadoodle-doos. And the only real way of getting through these cockadoodle-doos is to use hunters, because we can't send anybody up to attack. Which is really irritating. So, we do have to rely entirely on hunters. Because it's not like we can do anything about that egg over there. Yeah, I would say take out the cockadoodle-doos before you do anything, rather than starting to attack the damn rock, because obviously Rockies will appear, they will attack you. It's all a little bit fraught. So you want to get rid of these guys that are sitting up on the sides. But I mean, if they do that, which is really what I would have liked them to do sooner, obviously you can kill them in one nice easy swoop. And as we attack this rock, eventually those enemies behind the rock will come jumping forth to try and attack us. There they are, but thankfully we have more than enough chefs to deal with the chaos. Chefs, cooks, whatever. Now, something that I do really like about the Skull Plains is that even though there are 3 kings here, and it is a very big area to be fair, it's very easy to get to all the different locations. Like, there's quite a bit to explore, but there's not so much that the quest to get into the kingdom takes forever. Once you have made that jump cannon in the Skull Plains, you're pretty much good to go for taking on all the other kings. It just depends whether you want to do the god quests that turn up afterwards, whether you want to do some of the other quests, build up your kingdom a bit more, that sort of thing. So once you get to this area, it becomes a little bit more open, you have a little bit more choice in how you do things. I'm going to go the bog standard way of going Worrywart Kingdom, Primetime Kingdom, and Mount Sobamanjaro. But that's all fine by me. But yes, here is the next kingdom. Already, but oddly enough, we have a letter. So, wow. So, King Omelet is a little bit of a crazy, shall we say. Thinks quite a lot. Before we head in, obviously this is Worrywart Kingdom's worrying labyrinth. We hear about these, people creatures called the Eggins. And we will find out more about them as we progress, I believe. But first, we want to dig up this damn hole. Because we have, I think it was a gold bar in there, which is quite nice. Bit of extra money, totally fine with that. But let's head in to the labyrinth. Now, we have to go through this by ourselves. Our citizens cannot follow. So this can be a little bit fraught, because there are some rather dangerous enemies hanging about. But as we progress, there will be these whispers, so we get a whisper from the cradle. Everyone is the same when they are born, but everything is actually decided at birth. I came into this world after considering whether I wanted this life. It's all very philosophical, but whatever you do, don't go near the cockadoodle-doos, because it's not going to end well for you. Whisper of a 6-year-old. I played with Susie when I was in kindergarten. Susie played with Bob. I hate Bob. I'm better than Bob. I wonder who Susie likes better. So, lots of thinking going on in this. And the music in this mysterious area is Antonin Dvorak's Slavonic Dance No. 2. Which I think has been sort of given the title To Be or Not To Be. Which is quite fitting, because King Omelets very much sort of in the vein of Hamlet, which is where To Be or Not To Be comes from. Yes, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. Think that's definitely the quote. I've always been a little bit naff with the end of that quote, because I've always gotten confused as to whether it's an in opposing end them or by opposing end them, but it's close enough. But yes, these whispers are very, very, very philosophical and slightly dark. I mean, as this guy's grown up, he's gotten darker and darker. I mean, whisper of a geriatric. One day I awoke to find myself in a retirement home with only other old folks around me. I don't have any kind of terminal illness, but I continue to feel incredibly depressed. I'm afraid of dying. I don't want to die. Well, I just wander aimlessly for the short remainder of my now meaningless life. It's deep, man. It's very deep. Oh, we're gonna have to go by the cockadoodle-doo, won't we? Yeah. I think this is the only bit where you end up being majorly at risk because you have to go near the cockadoodle-doo. Oh, yeah, we're not going near him. Oh. As we exit, whisper from the grave. Before I realised it, I was in my grave. My body was in earth. I am no longer of this world. In the end, my life was full of worries that just never seemed to come to an end. Oh? What am I doing? Am I worrying even after death? It seems so. But there's very little that we can do right now, so we should really just head forward. Pick up this god memo? which is a strategy for Omelet, so there's going to be a total of 10 questions. And we are going to have to answer them all. Yes, this one did indeed get through the maze. It really wasn't that difficult. I know you had all the massive chickens, and we're only like a child king here, but, like, they're able to do anything. But we're already here to take on the boss. I think we should investigate a little further, don't you? You know what? This is getting more than a little ridiculous. Open up, goddamn you!
Del área podría ser vídeos más altos y
So, here we have the fight against King Omelets. And it's a battle quiz. So we're going to have 10 questions, as you saw, and we're going to have to answer them correctly to get through. So first off is a riddle. White is dirty, black is clean. What am I? So basically, you are looking for the answer to the riddle. As you can probably guess, the answer is a chalkboard. You have to defeat the object before this timer around closes off and sort of runs out. If you don't, then you are going to be attacked by a barrage of cock-a-doodle-doos. If you get the answer wrong, you will also get attacked by a barrage of cock-a-doodle-doos. And if you get too many wrong, you're going to get cows in there as well. So King Omelet can be pretty easy as long as you answer everything correctly. But it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So, I mean, we're looking for the former king to the Jolly Kingdom, which is the real Duvrok. So, what you're looking for is a fella with a brown beard, 2 tufts of hair, and he should be standing on 4 boxes. Now, I thought that this was the real Duvrok, but as you can see, I was so wrong. So, I have to face down this. So there'll be a cock-a-doodle-doo running about like a madman. And you have to avoid it for 30 seconds. I was just like, oh god, no, I do not want to be doing this, I do not want to be doing this, this is not good, this is not good. I wanted quite a nice smooth run of King Omelet, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult.
Edificios más altos, pisos superiores de apartamento.
Ah ha 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 ha! Very well done, King Omelet.
Sitios más altos.
So, if you get a question wrong, then it will just go back to the same question, so it's all fine.
Sitios más altos. De apartamento.
Oh. Anyway, the music for this fight is a
Sitios más altos.
slightly
Superiores
odd
de apartamento.
rendition of Tchaikovsky's famous Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies from the Nutcracker. It's just, it's not the... I'm loving that amount of hair, it's great. There's the real King of Rock. Got him in the end. But yes, so Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies, and I'm pretty sure that it's one of those classical pieces of music that you will always, well, really should recognise. Because, I mean, it also, if you go to Alton Towers regularly,
Más altos, pisos superiores de apartamento.
basically the theme tune for Alton Towers, which is it's a theme park in the UK, is the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, which is just really quite cool. Obviously, Alton Towers has been through the mill quite a bit in recent years after a few rather high-profile accidents. But, and I've not been for absolute ages because I just don't really do theme parks, because I don't do roller coasters, so I'm kind of a bit of a miserable blighter in that respect. But the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy is really quite cool. It's just, I'm not a fan of its rendition here, just because it's very
Sitios más altos, pisos superiores
oppressive. You never really get too far into the song,
Sitios más altos,
and it's just a bit
de apartamento.
oppressive. So, here is another
Más altos, pisos superiores de apartamento.
question, well, riddle. Water hurts me, but grass helps me. What am I? What you're looking for is a torch. Because obviously, water will douse it, but grass will feed it and it'll grow larger. So, some of these are very simple. I mean, the silhouette one was maybe a little bit of a meanie, because it's not really something that you necessarily think about. You should have more than enough time to realise that the two circles are the two balls. But after you get past this point, the game can get slightly mean. Because the next few questions can be pretty cruel.
Sitios más altos, pisos superiores de apartamento.
Question 5.
Más altos, pisos
Which
superiores
is the
de
real
apartamento.
suggestion box? Oh, I hope you've been paying attention.
Superiores de apartamento.
So the one that you are looking for is rounded, with a slot, a lamp, and it should be a little way off the ground. I made a terrible decision here, because this one is on the ground. So,
Superiores de apartamento.
I am going to get cock-a-doodle-doos out the wazoo. So, yeah, this is a little bit fraught, shall we say. I thought it might be an idea to start attacking, but then I realised very soon it's a terrible idea. You should just run for the hills as much as possible during these. Because otherwise, your soldiers and citizens are going to get hurt rather badly,
De apartamento.
and it's not going to be pretty. But anyway, we're going to get the correct suggestion box, don't worry.
Edificios más altos, pisos superiores de
Most of these I was just thick for a little bit and then eventually got it.
Edificios más altos, pisos superiores de apartamento.
So, it's definitely not the blue one. I believe it is that one there that we've just walked past, but I think I thought, well, let's just double check. Have a look at all of them. And then we can go from there. So I think at this point it was just like, yes, it is that one. It's lifted slightly off the ground. It's got the green lamp. It's circular and it's got a slot. So I am pretty sure that that is our suggestion box. Thank God for that.
Subterráneo celular.
And now we are about to get one of the crew list. A weird voice quiz. So we need to find out who that voice belongs to. Unfortunately, I do not recognise that voice at all. Now what you can do here, which I didn't realise, is that you can go up to each of the answers and you can talk to them. So you can hear what they sound like rather than making a horrendous decision like I am about to. Because I thought I had not heard that voice at all anywhere, so it must be the grinder. Yeah, it was definitely not the Giga Grinder. And here's the cow, and oh, I was just like, oh my god. This is not good. There are cock-a-doodle-doos, and there are cows, and... oh, just stay alive. I'm sorry, Ramil. I didn't mean to let you die. I'm just awful at this quiz. Well, I mean, I'm awful at this quiz when it's asking me to do things like remember things that just nobody really pays any attention to whatsoever. But yeah, if you're wondering why this part was so long, it's because this fight just takes forever. It's just, it can be just so slow. Now, I hear that voice and I think, that must be a child. I thought, yes! I am incredibly smart. And then there was no child. So I got incredibly confused. But I think it sounded... well, after that I thought, well, maybe it's vaguely a female voice, so that's clearly a female lumberjack. So let's try that one. And it proved to be correct, thank God. But yes, if you want to do the smart thing, go up and talk to the answers, because then you'll actually be able to hear them speak. That's how you're meant to solve that one, rather than actually memory. Because if it was just by memory, I think that would just be far too cruel. Oh, thank God. A riddle. I can cope with riddles. I stand still, but I still move forward. What could I be? Well, the answer presented itself right in front of us. It's an alarm clock. Because obviously it stands still, it doesn't move, but the hands are constantly moving forward. So that's a nice one. And we are very nearly there, come on. So, question 8, Super Intro Music Quiz. Where is this from? Ah! La Donna e Mobile. Quite clearly, that is from the Ripe Kingdom. So, we need to attack the thing that is, well, symbolises that location. Which, quite clearly, will be a cake. So I just need to find the cake. So, this is a random song. You were never going to know what it's going to be. You might get the song from the town square, in which case you attack the suggestion box. You might get a song from the castle, in which case you attack the throne. Song from the graveyard, in which case you attack the tombstone. You've just got to know your songs, really. Which is a little mean, but either way. And now it's time for the final question. I thought there were going to be 10, but it seems that there are actually only 9, which is really frustrating. So, who could be the biggest problem in the land? Well, I'm pretty sure it is you, sir. So, we just need to attack the egg, and it'll all be grand. Now, 2 little fun facts whilst we just finish off this fight against King Omelets. He appears to say in his gibberish, disconnect are subterranean and cellular, which are actually words in Spanish which mean disconnect, subterranean and cell phone, rather randomly. Also, out of the 7 deadly sins, because obviously a lot of our kings have symbolised the 7 deadly sins in some form, Omelet is meant to be wrath. Because contrary to popular belief, Thomas Aquinas says that wrath is characterised by misplaced anger, hasty anger, or complete passivity. And obviously, Omelet takes the passivity part, and that he never attacks or shows any sign of anger. And, oh! It's a toilet!
Subterráneo celular. Tren en movimiento. Subterráneo celular. Fiales. Subterráneo celular.
Yes, we are that great.
Subterráneo celular. Subterráneo celular. Desconecta. Subterráneo celular. Tren en movimiento. O fuera de.
Oh, hell no. We are the best because we are a benevolent king.
Tren en movimiento. O fuera. Edificios más altos. Pisos superiores de apartamento.
No, we are fixing things, you sod.
Subterráneo celular. Desconectarse aunque la conexión. Desconectarse aunque la conexión. Tren en movimiento. O fuera del área podría ser. Fiales. Paisajes. Subterráneo celular. Desconectarse aunque la conexión. Subterráneo celular. Subterráneo celular.
Right, okay, yeah, you just do your thing, King Omelet. He's crazy. Yes? 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 The answers are pointless. Okay, whatever. This place is weird. This place is very weird. Now before we rescue the princess, you may have noticed the WC on King Omelet's egg stands for water closet, aka the restroom, aka the toilet. So if you hadn't guessed before that King Omelet was sitting on the loo, now you know that you can tell beforehand. But either way, we have rescued another princess! Yay!
to its limb cover. Slip the snare at me.
So this is Shizuka, and yeah, she's quite cool.
Instead, it's a robot, but in that he could teleport.
And we have another wife! Ha ha ha! God, we are really being a massive polygamist. But yes, we have defeated the Worrywart Kingdom. Thank God. I think we're going to just need an entire day just to party. Don't you?